Oh my god, I forgot that it's garbage day and the garbage truck is outside, so I'm really sorry for the noise that's gonna be happening right now. Let's just pretend it's not happening. Okay. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today I'm coming to you with my May TBR. I know it's late, I know it's irrelevant now, but I wanted to post it anyway because I'm taking part in 2 readathons this month, although I actually already participated in one, so technically 3, but that one was only a week long and it's been and gone, so I'm not going to cover that here. I'm just going to talk about the 2 month-long readathons that I'm taking part in this month. So yeah, I have a lot of books to talk about. Well, not a lot, but some. So let's just hop on into it, shall we? The first readathon that I'm taking part in this month is the May the 4th Read With You readathon. Obviously a Star Wars themed readathon. I don't think I've expressed this very well on my channel, but I love Star Wars. I actually have a bit of an interesting relationship with Star Wars. I thought I hated it because basically I have brothers. I also have a sister, but I also have brothers. And so growing up, I watched Star Wars. I watched Lord of the Rings because I had to, because my brothers were watching it. And so yeah, because of that, I had this like just hatred in the back of my mind for Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I haven't rewatched Lord of the Rings, so I still don't know how I would feel about it. But anyway, I had this bias against Star Wars. And then like 6 or 7 years ago, my brother was watching Star Wars and I fell in love with it. Yeah, I was low-key obsessed for like a whole year. It was my favorite thing. I had an Ewok as my phone background. Like, I was obsessed. And I still love Star Wars. I'm gonna do a massive Star Wars marathon as soon as I'm done with my degree. But yeah, I love it. So I had to take part in this readathon. Also, this is being hosted by Noelle from Noelle 7 Pages, as well as some other people, but I'll link her announcement video down below, and then you can find out all of the people who are running it because I can't remember off the top of my head. So when I heard about this readathon, which was Star Wars themed and being run by one of my favorite people, I had to take part. With this readathon, you can be on the light side, the dark side, or you can be neutral, or like take prompts from light and neutral, or dark and neutral, but not light and dark. Anyway, and there are basically 5 prompts for you to complete, and I've chosen to be on the light side because I liked the prompts and I was able to complete them pretty easily. Yes, that's the side I've chosen. So the first challenge for the light side is Jedi Council, read a sequel, and for that one I chose Prodigy by Marie Lu. I will talk about what this book is about in a second because I have to mention the first book in a second. So yeah, this is the first book on my TBR for the May the 4th Read With You, which I've actually already read, but yeah, I'll be talking about this in a second. The next challenge is For Spirit, read a book with paranormal elements, and for this one I've gone for Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is the second book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, duology, I don't know. If you don't know what the first book is about, Before the Coffee Gets Cold is basically set in this cafe where you can time travel. But one of the rules is that you can only go back in time for the length it takes for your coffee to get cold, and you have to have finished your coffee before it gets cold, otherwise you get stuck. And the paranormal element in this book is that there is a ghost, and basically the ghost sits in the chair. There's a very specific chair that you have to sit in to time travel, and she sits in that chair, and so you have to wait until she gets up to be able to time travel. But yeah, this one is under 200 pages, so I thought it would be perfect, and this also coincides with one of the prompts for the other readathon that I'm taking part in, so it was perfect. The next challenge is Healing, read a book from your favorite genre, and for that one I'm actually going to be rereading a book that I haven't read since like I think 2018, so it's been a while. I've been meaning to reread it for ages, and that is 3 Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake. This is basically a young adult fantasy set in this world where there is a set of triplets, and one of these triplets will become queen, and they enter into a battle when they turn 16 to become queen, and unfortunately the triplet to become queen has to kill her sisters, and all 3 of the sisters are supposed to have like these magical powers, but one of them is a lot stronger than the other 2, so it seems like it's gonna be super obvious who wins, but it's not. Anyway, this is the first book in a 4-book series, and I have owned the second book for the longest time. I tried to read it a couple of years ago, but I could not remember anything that happened in this book, so I will be rereading it. And I was actually going to save this book until the autumn because it's a very atmospheric book, and the last time I read this, I read it in the summer, so I really wasn't like feeling it. But it has been raining consistently in the UK for like a week, and it doesn't really show any sign of stopping anytime soon, so even though it's not autumn. It feels very autumnal because it's raining and cold and gray. So I think I actually will be able to read this month and really enjoy it. So yes, this is my book for that. The next challenge is knowledge. Read one of the oldest books on your TBR. And for that one, I chose Legend by Marie Lu. I bought the Legend trilogy in 2015 and didn't touch it for years. And I actually finally read this book. I already read this book and Prodigy in the month. Don't worry, I'm not cheating. But yeah, I already read these. And I was gonna read Champion as well this month, but I've decided I don't want to continue on with the series. But this is basically a young adult dystopian trilogy that originally came out in 2011. So it's 10 years old at this point, and it is kind of dated. It's very trope heavy. There are love triangles. It's kind of similar to a lot of other dystopians that I've read. Anyway, but it basically follows our main characters, June and Day. It's basically set in this like military controlled state. Why can't I think of like the right word to describe this? But anyway, Day is like one of the most wanted criminals in this society, and so June is sent to go and hunt him down, and their paths cross. Apparently this is a Les Mis retelling, which I didn't know, and I also have never read or watched Les Mis, so it didn't really affect my opinion on it, but it was okay. I'll talk about it in my wrap up. But yeah, that's what this series is about. And the final challenge for the May the Force Read With You is Cleansed. Read a book with a white cover. And so initially I was going to read Champion because it has a white cover, but now I've put The Program by Suzanne Young on my TBR. But then I was looking at reviews on Goodreads yesterday and like, I don't know if I want to read this, but this has been on my TBR since 2015. So again, a really old book. And this is basically set in this society where depression has become an epidemic. And basically if you show any signs of like being sad or depressed, not even depressed, but just sad, they send you to go and do the program. It's about two teenagers who are in love and I think are experiencing some feelings of depression, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll read this because I also have a book which is going to be on a secret TBR video, which I'm hoping to do this month, which has a white cover, but I can't tell you about it because it's for a secret TBR. If I read the book for the secret TBR, then I probably won't read this, but I really want to get this off my TBR because I hate the fact that I still have some books from 2015 hanging over my head. Like, why have I not read books that I bought 6 years ago? Like, I just need to do it, you know? Anyway, so those are all the books that I plan to read for the May the Force Read With You readathon. And so the other readathon that I'm taking part in May is the Asian Readathon, which is being hosted by With Cindy. And basically this is a readathon all about reading books by Asian authors, and there are 5 prompts. And basically one of the rules is that for each book it has to be by an author from a different Asian country, so you couldn't like read just 5 books by like Japanese authors. So I've chosen 5 different books, but there is some overlap with my May the Force Read With You TBR so that I can read them all because I still have exams this month, so I tried to make it overlap as much as possible, but I have a few other ones to talk about. So the first one I have on my list is for the challenge, read a book by an Asian author. So for this one I have Accidentally Engaged by Farah Heron, and I have the audiobook of this from my library. Now I don't actually remember what the plot is of this book, but it's been on my Goodreads TBR for a while, so I think I heard about it in someone else's video and thought it sounded really fun, but I know that it's going to involve someone getting accidentally engaged. I'm really sorry. I'll of course link the Goodreads pages for all of these books down below because I'm terrible at synopsizing books, especially if I haven't read them, because I don't like to know very much about the books that I read before I read them. I kind of just like to hear the buzzwords. But yeah, I thought this one sounded cute, and I haven't read a romance in a while, so I think this one will be fun. Hello, sorry, I'm coming to you from the floor because I changed my mind about what book I wanted to read for the next challenge. So the next challenge is to read a book with an Asian protagonist, and so for this one I am going to be going for On Brief for Earthly Gorgeous. There we go. Yeah, that's sounds about right. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I'm not really sure what this one is about, but I have heard so many good things. And my friend Evie read this recently and we were talking about it and she said that it was just beautiful. So yeah, and my library has it and it was available for some reason, even though normally at my library I have to wait like months for anything that is remotely popular. But yeah, this one was already available, so I am switching out my original plan for this one instead because it just sounds really, really good. I don't know exactly what this one is about, but I know that it's like kind of the form of the son is reading a letter to his mom because she can't read, and it's just kind of like about life in general, I think. I don't know, I've just literally heard nothing but good things. So yes, when I've read it I will have more to say about what it's about, but I don't look into what the books are about before I read them because I don't want to know. Goodreads link will be down below. because I'm the worst. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going to be reading for this challenge, and we'll go back to the regular video. The third challenge is to read a book by an Asian author which is in your favorite genre, and for that one I've chosen Three Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake so that I can double up. Although if I have time, I would love to continue on with the series and pick up One Dark Throne, which is the sequel. I would love to continue on with the series because I meant to do it years ago. I really enjoyed the first book, but I just never picked this up. So yeah, I would love to pick this one up if I've got time, and then obviously hopefully pick up the next two in the series. The fourth challenge is to read a non-fiction by an Asian author, and for this one I've actually chosen the one that Cindy recommended, and that is Know My Name by Chanel Miller, which is Chanel Miller's memoir. Chanel Miller is the survivor of the Stanford sexual assault that happened in 2015, I think, by Brock Turner, that disgusting scum of the earth. Her victim impact statement was published on BuzzFeed, and it kind of went viral and everyone like learned about it, and it was absolutely crazy because I think Brock Turner ended up only getting sentenced to 6 months in jail despite literally raping a woman behind a dumpster. It's horrible, absolutely horrible what happened to her. I've heard that this memoir is just really well written and obviously a really important topic. I've already actually read the first chapter, and I know that this is gonna be a really hard read, but a really important one. So yes, I will be reading this in the month. Obviously, massive trigger warning for that. Don't read that if you're not going to be able to. But yeah, that's what I'm planning to read for that prompt. And the final challenge is to read any book that is not US centric, and for that one I'm reading Tales from the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi because this is set in Japan, in Tokyo I believe. And yeah, anyway, so those are all of the books that I'm planning to read this month, and my camera is flashing at me so I need to do this really quick. All of the information for the readathons will be linked down below. All of the books that I mentioned will be down below. That's just all that I have to say, and I need to go because my camera is so mad at me. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please get a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below, and if you've made it this far, please leave me a frog emoji if there is one, only because a frog is green and that reminds me of Yoda, and I'm doing the Star Wars readathon, so yeah, leave me a frog emoji if there is one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.